Evening, guys. So today I want to look at the collaboration between the Palace Shield and the Westmoreland League. So I think we all know that at the end of this season, the league winners of the Westmoreland League, if it's a Lancashire-based club, get the option to transfer to the Palace Shield Division 1A, which is the second tier. And if it's a Cumbria club that wins it, say Arnside, for example, they get the chance to go into the Cumbria League at whatever tier. I don't know what that tier is. It's probably the second tier. I don't know. For the purpose of this, we're doing the Lancashire route. So if Shireshead or Westgate or Heysham or Carnforth or Trimble or Bear, for example, win the Westmoreland League, they get the option to go into the Palace Shield and it for the next year, 2022. And that would be at Division 1A, which is the division that Torrizome are in, one from the top. Now, to my way of thinking, that's a division too low, and I think it should be straight into the Premier Division, but that's what's been agreed, and so we follow that path. You win the Westmoreland League, you get into Division 1A. Because no one really knows what the standards are. We can all guess, and we all have our own opinions about what the standards are, but to be honest, we don't know. So as a bit of a taster, the four top Westmoreland League teams from the last completed season have been allowed into the Palace Shield Cup, the Meyler Cup, which is their Premier Cup competition, a bit like we used to have the Hackney League. So it was supposed to happen last year in 2020, but with COVID it didn't happen. So it's going to happen this year. And the draw's been conducted, and you probably all know who's playing who. So I'm just going to go through it a little bit. So Heysham have been drawn at home, and they'll play Vernon Carers. Now Vernon Carers in 2019, and we're going to do it from 2019. Vernon Carers in 2019 were 5th in the Premier Division of the Palace Shield. So that's the top division where teams come down to from the Northern League. So Lancaster, Morecambe, Barrow, Penrith, they've all been down there. They come from the Northern League and they go into the top division of the Palace Shield. It's pretty good standard, I think. So Heysham against Vernon Carers. Very capable Heysham. They do tend to have a lot of player changes year on year, but they've got a bit of a stable base and they're very capable. That's going to be a tight game, I think. I think it all hinges on how well Vernon Carers travel, because they can be a good side. They were 5th in the Prem in the Palace Shield 2 years ago. Good side. And we move on to Shireshead. Now, Shireshead have got a bye in the preliminary round. Dead lucky to get that. In the first round proper, Shireshead will be away to the winner of Heysham or Vernon Carers. So if it's Heysham that wins that, then Heysham against Shireshead in the last 16, we're guaranteed one into the last 8. That's how that works. Carnforth have been drawn away at Torrizome, who were in Division 1A, and in 2019 they finished 7th in that division. So that would be the division that the Westmoreland League team that wins the league, if it's a Lancashire-based team, would go into in the Palace Shield. Torrizome, home advantage. Probably got a fancy Carnforth in that, to be honest with you. Torrizome's bowling's pretty good. It's been improving. Carnforth probably got too much from, I would think. Winner of that is at home to Barrow, and they're almost a complete unknown because they've been in the Northern League for 16 years. They're dropping down to the Palace Shield. Will they have lost some players who want to stay local and play in the Cumbria League? I don't know. So that's my view on that. So Torrizome v Carnforth replacing the last 16 where they'll play Barrow. So let's look at that. For me, the game of the round is Penwitham against Westgate. Now, Penwitham came 9th in the Palace Shield Premier League 2 years ago, and we all know about Westgate. It's the game of the round, I think, because Penwitham are at home. I think if it was at Westgate and one familiar surroundings, if we can put it like that, I think Westgate would be the pretty big favourites. But They're going to go to Penwitham. It's a small ground. It's very short straight. Is Penwitham, and you're hitting them. You're batting at the clubhouse and hitting towards the houses near the main road there. It's not a massive hit. It all depends where, excuse me, which end Andy's going to bowl Zach at in that game, because he's the key to that game. Zach and Dylan, they're both the keys to that game, to be honest with you. It's short straight. One of them's going to have to bowl at the wrong end, as it were. Dylan's team, if Dylan Conroy steams in from one end and they start getting nicks, it's just going to go over the slips for 4. And Zach, they're going to try and hit him straight, so he needs to turn it a little bit. Penwitham, decent side. They're at home the 9th. I'd fancy Westgate to go through there just about, I think. And the winner of that is then at home to New Longton. Now then, that's at home to New Longton in the last 16. New Longton were bottom of the Premier Division in 2019. So they're now in Division 1A. And in the Premier Division, when they were bottom in 2019, it was quite tight, but it was them and Standish that went down. So I would fancy if Westgate can get past Penwitham, they can probably get past New Longton as well, I would hope. And they find themselves in the last 8. So we'll just rule that off there now. That's the draw, and that's a bit about the games. So what I've got to say is the winner of the Westmoreland League, if it's Lancashire-based club, gets a chance to go into the Palace Shield at Division 1A level. Now, if we can get 2 sides from our league, and I'm speaking from a league perspective here, if we can get 2 sides from our league into semis, or one into final, or one of them wins it, it's just a private thought, this from me. It's not a league-based thought, it's not a club-based thought, it's just a private thought. One of our clubs wins it, or a couple get to semis, and we do really well and some big wins, some hammerings, the Palace Shield are going to have to rethink what they're doing. Because that adds to our merit there of the winners of the Westmoreland League, whoever it is, don't care, we don't really care who it is from this point of view, whoever it is, would then need to go direct into the Palace Shield Prem. I think that would be fair. But this cup competition is just there to sort of rubber stamp that. I think, well, for me, it's just there to rubber stamp. It's there to give an indication of where's the quality. For example, if Heysham beat Vernon's by 100 runs and Westgate win at Penwitham by 8 wickets and Carnforth Amateurism, well, then they've got to have a think about it, because nobody wants a team from the Westmoreland League, the winners, say it's Westgate, for example, or Heysham. Nobody wants them to go into Division 1A of the Palace Shield, play 22 games, I mean, and win it by miles. I mean, 2 years ago, Lancaster won it. There's 22 games. They won 18 and they had 4 rained off. Didn't lose, didn't draw. Won 18, 4 rained off. They won it by 45. But nobody wants that to happen. Because if that happens, all the teams in Division 1A are just going to get really, really, really peeved. I mean, Lancaster won the Premier Division by that amount. And nobody wants that to happen. I mean, in Division 1A, Thornton, Cleavers and Kirkham, they were clear with Rufford. It's just one of them things. If Thornton and Cleavers are winning 14 and losing 2 and having 4 no results, and Kirkham are winning 13, losing 1 and having 6 no results, those 2 teams have gone up. Our top side doesn't need to be going in the division that they've come from. They need to be going in the Prem. And so hopefully, good performances in the Meyler Cup. Take it seriously. Read the competition rules, because it's 40 overs, 5 bowlers, 8 overs each, leg side, wides. There'll be 2 for a no ball, all that sort of rubbish. There's probably all that. It's Duckworth Lewis as well, so you'll need to keep on top of that. What I want is our 4 sides to put off a brilliant performance so that Palace Shield has to rethink this 1A situation, really. And they really have to say, in future years, it's 1 relegated from the Prem, and sorry, it's 2 relegated from the Prem, 1 up from 1A, and 1 from the Westmoreland League if they want to, straight in the Prem, because I think the chance is there then to go, if you want to, go through the Prem, because there's some ordinary sides in that Prem. There's some good teams, but some ordinary ones. Go through that Prem and get in the Northern League, because I know they have pros, they have overseas players, but the Northern League is not what it was. It just isn't what it used to be, even 10 years ago. So let's get this pyramid going. Do as well as you can, all 4 sides, Heysham, Shireshead, Carnforth and Westgate. Get as far as you can in this cup. Take it seriously. And then let's try and get the Westmoreland League on the map. Good luck to everybody, guys. And I'll see you through the season. No doubt 1 or 2 of you will want to pin me about the quality of my videos. But I welcome that, as long as it's in good heart and good jest, and we all realise that we're trying to do things for the better of the game. Poke fun where you can, and I'll do the same as well. But we really are trying to do it for the better of the game. Let's try and advance things. Let's try and make things better, but let's try and have it as competitive as we can. I don't mind losing. I don't play these days, but I don't mind losing to a better side. If you lose to a good side, that's fair enough. But if you don't put the effort in and you lose to a poor side, it just makes you feel rubbish, that. So big effort, play the game hard, be friendly, and I'll look forward to seeing you through the season. Thanks, guys.